I got 2 shirts on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like hot. I'm just saying because it's rubbing. You can hear it rubbing on the...
We're in a basement. It's cold.
On the cord.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jason.
I'm Jules.
And we
doing Filmographies. And yeah. We made it. It's been a long journey. 9 tough films.
I mean, it's not 9 tough films.
I mean, there were some good ones along the way, but it was still tough.
Not many. All right, it was a little tough.
This is probably tougher than childbirth.
You think so?
I do.
10 Billy Crudups?
Yes. It was the 10th one that really put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. I do find it weird. It's been interesting, perhaps, watching people's acting abilities grow or seeing their early tricks.
Yep.
But the reason people don't do filmography podcasts of actors is because of the wild variety of ups and downs. You're going to want fucking trash while people try to hone their craft.
Well, and especially early in their career, although not for everybody, you're just in what you can get unless you've already kind of, some actors, they just start as like a desired muse for some directors.
Well, I mean, I think Crudup has a little bit of that. Like, he should have been in, like, another, 6 or 8 shitty things, some TV.
Yeah.
Like, in the first 2 roles, it should have been like that, but not in, acclaimed movies. To be in Sleepers and Everyone Says I Love You right off the bat.
True.
It's quite crazy. Now, both those movies fucking suck. But they were high-profile movies. That's a real fluke to get into those right away.
Well, and today's film actually looked like it was intended to be more than I think it ended up being.
You think so?
I do. I don't know how... Well, so first off, what film are we covering today?
Hey, everybody. We're covering the year 2000's Waking the Dead.
Yeah.
Starring Billy Crudup, reunited with Jennifer Connoly.
Yeah. Doing a terrible Jodie Foster accent.
Is that...
Good Lord.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
It's a Keith Gordon film. Are we going to do the synopses? Are you looking it up right now, or you got your notes?
No, you go for the synopses.
All right, y'all. Here's the synopses for Waking the Dead, and then I'm going to reveal something here. Oh, man. How do you even find it? There we go. Shit, that's the plot. You gotta go to Rotten Tomatoes. Nobody cares about this fucking movie.
Just
it's hard to...
It doesn't pop up for Google?
Well, the book,
or
the movie, and then a TV, not the movie, but then a TV show.
Sure.
It's all stuff we can...
Sure.
Just delete it right now. Oh, I'm typing in Waking the Delete.
Well, okay, so before you get to that, apparently Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, and Kevin Spacey were among some of the original actors considered for Billy Crudup's role.
By Keith Gordon. Keith Gordon, he spearheaded making it.
That's what I'm saying. This seems like Kevin Spacey, but those 3 names alone.
Kevin Spacey was...
In the 90s? In the 2000s. It was 2000. Yeah, I mean,
right after American Beauty.
Mm-hmm. They all would have been hot shit. Tom Hanks was always Tom Hanks, but Tom Cruise?
They all seem quite old to be playing these people.
They do.
Okay, here's the synopses. Fielding Pierce, Billy Crudup, has long been on the road to political candidacy. After the Coast Guard, he enrolls in law school and meets firebrand activist Sarah Williams, Jennifer Connoly, choking over here on pizza. Taken by her passion and beauty, Fielding pursues her, but the romance is cut short when she is killed doing aid work in Chile.
Yep.
Nearly a decade later, Fielding is closer than ever to his political dreams, but he is haunted by visions and by a growing feeling that Sarah is alive.
Well, but she wasn't killed doing aid work in Chile.
Right. Was it in Minneapolis?
She was killed in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
That was why it was like, oh my God, terrorists on our soil or whatever. I don't know. But apparently the role for Sarah Williams in the movie Some of the people considered for that, Jessica Alba, Christina Applegate, Drew Barrymore, Neve Campbell, Cameron Diaz, Brittany Murphy, Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder, Tori Spelling, Britney Spears, Hilary Swank, and Liv Tyler. But it was in fact Billy Crudup who lobbied for Jennifer Connelly and got her in the movie.
I mean, all that heat has to be off of the book that this is based on.
I guess. I was thinking, I did a little thinking this time.
I appreciate it. Since you're already bringing some goods.
So this movie, I think it filmed earlier than it released.
By how much?
I don't know. It's hard to say, but probably not by like that much.
Like 2 years.
Maybe, yeah. But it came out in 2000, right? Now this was 1 year after The Matrix.
Oh, you got it down now?
It turns out we've been wrong this whole time.
They said it was 99.
However,
yes,
it's the same year as Requiem for a Dream.
Okay.
The other Jennifer Connelly, I don't know, downer movie. Also the same year, American Psycho.
How does that tie into the rest? You're just pointing.
Because these are good movies.
Okay.
But also that year, Memento. What I'm trying to get at is I think this is that time period after The Matrix where... like that?
Yeah, post-Matrix?
Post-Matrix, okay. Where more thought is being brought, more questions are being asked in movies. Because this is just a dumb romantic movie, for the most part.
So you think we're on a next tier level because of The Matrix?
Well, that's what everybody that gave it a positive review said, it was like, they really make it a head-scratcher of a romantic movie. I'm just trying to get to that headspace because I don't see it.
Yeah, this isn't... I mean, listen. My big reveal is I loved this movie when I rented it in the year 2000.
Wow.
I cried so hard at the end of this movie.
Well, I can see that.
I was so sold on their romance.
Yeah. Really?
It was broken with Fielding through this whole movie.
This is... a revelation.
It was the 1-2 punch of Jesus' son.
I bet.
And Waking the Dead that makes me love Billy Crudup.
That's insane, man.
And I think that my love of Billy Crudup really is just in that pocket of time. I don't know that it carries over.
But you know what? I could see being on board with this at the time for the type of person I was at that age, where I was exploring every indie film and sort of off the beaten path. Movies that kind of feel like they're mulling over deeper concepts.
Sure.
Or especially in the case of this movie, at the end, it's just like almost completely wide open to interpretation. But it seems like that's what they were kind of going for.
I don't think they achieved it. On the first viewing, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. What a mystery. Could go either way. Mm-hmm. On the second viewing, I say, well, this is stupid. It's very obvious.
Well, because the problem is I'm trying to believe it.
Yeah.
This, what could it be kind of thing, right? But my mind always comes back to, why would she have faked her death? There's just no absolute reason for her to have faked her death. But not only that, because the first inkling that we have that something is amiss is when all of the lights go out.
Yeah.
And she's speaking to his brain through snow, right? It's like, okay, you fake your death for whatever reason, and now maybe 10 years later you pick up the phone and give him a call.
Why now? Seems that at like the highest level of stress of this guy's life to suddenly reappear now seems like a hint towards the truth of the film.
Well, and honestly, if that wasn't what was getting him, I think I could have really kind of gotten behind this movie in general. It felt like Primary Colors meets Ghost. Like, I like the scenes where he's spiraling and he's handshaking and he's stumping and his, the political stuff and the backroom old men kind of stuff. I like that kind of shit, right? but then it just comes back. All right, I don't want to get too off on this, but because the problem with this movie, I think, is that it doesn't. It's like welcome to the Disneyland park, hippy dippy 70s.
This is okay. So should we?
Let's just get into it.
Okay, so we open up on Billy Crudup fielding, staring at a TV screen, Minneapolis, 1976.
Yeah,
somebody's to death.
Yes, that sounds about right.
And he's weeping. He's falling apart. Sarah has died.
Yeah.
And then what? We fucking flash back to him. 1972?
Yeah, he's just walking down the street, right? In his Navy whatever they wear to like balls and shit is, you know what I mean?
It's his officer uniform. I don't think it's not like
is it? It's not like so he's walking down the street in Chicago.
I believe so.
And he's going up to an office. I don't know if it's immediately clear that it's his brother.
That fucking guy is his brother?
That's his brother.
The hippie?
Yeah. The same guy who was dating the Sandra Oh.
No, that's the guy?
Yeah.
Man, I might have just been so...
Yeah. That's what's so weird, because so he goes up to the
does he look like that later when he's dating Sandra Oh?
No, he's got his 80s kind of flock of seagulls, almost like moose on the sides, but still kind of bouffant on top.
I thought, I was trying to figure out if he was like going to get a job.
I liked that actor. I'm not familiar with him.
I don't know who that dude is.
I thought the role was, not very flattering. It didn't really give him much to do, but
no, except for look like you're from the 70s.
Yeah. So he goes into the office and there's just, Technicolor bell bottoms as far as the eye can see, and afros and, weird shapes on the wall that are just green or orange. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's gross.
It's like a laughing sketch or something. So he meets Jennifer Connoly, who's outside.
She's a receptionist?
Apparently.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, is the boss in? And she's like, yeah, are you the brother? And he's like, yep.
He's coming at it pretty quick there, though. He's
immediately.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, man, it would be nice to be good looking and be able to go right after the good looking people. Like that must be nice for those two to be good looking.
Yeah, although on the Billy Crudup scale of attractiveness, this one kind of felt like a low 4.
Really?
I don't know. When we first meet him, he seems just like kind of aloof, but also like a prick. I can really see Tom Cruise biting into this role when they go out to lunch.
Yeah.
And it's just the rapid cuts of him just fucking
talking nonstop.
So he goes into his brother's office and he's smoking a joint because it's the 70s. And they start dancing on the table, and then she comes in like, hey, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then, you get the idea that Billy Crudup isn't like, because he's on the Democratic ticket later, but he kind of seems like a Republican.
I mean, maybe everybody seems like a Republican if you're a hippie.
That's true. He just came back. Did he come back from Vietnam?
I have no idea.
I guess I don't know, yeah. So...
It's not an interesting movie. That really, made me pay attention to what was happening.
Yeah. So they go out to lunch, and then he's like, hey, how about we go out to dinner? And she's like, are you going to let me talk? And they go out to dinner, and I don't know, it's fine, I guess.
But this is where I was, at this point, I could no longer handle the 70s outfits.
Yeah.
By the time they're eating and you can see the background actors.
Oh, it's...
You guys, this is all from, the costume hall. None of this looks like regular people wearing regular clothes at the time.
Yeah.
It seems like you just pulled some fresh, fake 70s clothes out of a closet.
It's like when you walk through those old-timey cities or villages in history museums, and it's just like... Quaker, hippie, like.
Oh man, it's so bad.
Well, and also the movie has this weird thing throughout where all of a sudden the scene is just like purple, like the lighting is just like purple or some garish fucking Batman and Robin style lighting. So they go out to dinner and it's whatever, and then she's like, "Come on upstairs and do me," and he's like, I'll do just that.
That is a good moment when she throws the keys out the window.
It is.
Says, no, you can't come up.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Get up here.
I also like, I don't know if you noticed, it cut to a shot of her opening up the window, but then it actually did a shot where it establishes him on the street and pans up to her in the window. So it was like they went through the trouble of actually putting her in the building as opposed to just, behind a window set.
Yeah.
And so then they like date, right? But at the same time, he's like trying to get into politics.
Yep, he's greasing the wheels.
Yeah, so she goes to work for a priest who was the Zodiac suspect in Zodiac. Remember that? And they go to question him, and it's like clear that it's probably him.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I was picturing Roger Rabbit, the guy who does Roger Rabbit's voice. He's also one of the Zodiac suspects in the movie.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Charles Fleischer.
Yeah, Charles Fleischer.
You are referring... What is John Carroll... What is his name? John Carroll Lynch? Is that his name?
That could be.
Drew Carey's brother on the Drew Carey Show, but a very good actor who's been around a long time. Didn't he kind of make it seem like something nefarious was going to happen with this group? Like maybe they're the bad guys?
Well, that's just it. So I don't remember at what point we meet him. But it's just like they're at the airport, him and Billy Crudup and Jennifer Connoly.
I think that is when he meets them.
I'm saying, but they're like just claiming their luggage.
Yeah.
And he just turns around and he goes, "Oh, are you Sarah Williams?"
Yeah, it seems like there's a weird
And she's like, there. "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I'm the priest." I'm like, "Oh, is he like CIA?"
Man, okay. I wouldn't say I would think something more nefarious, a terrorist group infiltrating American soil.
John Carroll Lynch, you are correct. Hal Holbrook is also in here. Hal Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook.
That's a lot of H's.
He's all right. This is a weird movie.
Well, so that's what's even weirder is Ed Harris's character was completely cut from the movie.
Except for the one scene where he's on the TV.
Yeah. And he gets like pretty predominant billing.
Man, okay, there is a 3-hour cut of this movie.
Yeah.
He had a 3-hour cut, and he whittled it down to like, 2 hours and 10 minutes, 2 hours and 16 minutes?
Carey Mulligan's in this movie?
No. As in, no. Carey Mulligan from Drive?
Yeah, bro.
No.
She's popping up.
What?
In the cast list. And, Jodie Foster is too, but she's just a producer. So maybe somebody's full of shit. But yeah, so it just kind of meanders for a while.
Yeah, the
problem is that it jumps from the 70s 10 years into the future into the 80s, where he's on track to become like a congressman, I think.
Yeah.
And he's also got another woman, played by Molly Parker, who I thought when she was rolling her nipple, remember that?
I always liked Molly Parker.
That was pretty saucy. Yeah, I thought she was gorgeous in Deadwood.
Oh.
It's the first time I really was familiar with her, but...
I was a little confused by the timeline here, man. I've written down here like 72 dating, 76 death, 83 is the present, I think.
Yeah.
I think 72 dating is a guess, though.
I thought it was...
seeing when it was.
I thought it was like 10 years between... But I guess I don't know if they ever state how long it's been.
No.
But... So it's silly. Just as silly as the 70s is, the 80s is like, you only realize it's the 80s because of their clothes. Like,
yeah.
Nothing about it is like, I mean, it's the 80s, I guess, what are you going to do? But, so the brother is wearing like, teal color sports jackets with the sleeves rolled up. I guess that's how you know it's the 80s.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just kind of bounces around.
Their relationship gets more intense.
Yeah.
She becomes more selfless, but that usually seems pretty whack. Like, what is she working with, like, dying children at one point with, like, a scarf over her head?
Yeah, it seems like she's at the mercy of, like, a cult or something.
It really sure does seem like that, man. Meanwhile, he's, working on being a politician. They're so...
Yeah, but then when you actually... After that first sequence, every time you see the priest, he doesn't seem like a bad guy or...
No.
Like he's inundated.
Ultimately, it seems like they were a perfect... I don't even know. Like, what is their group? Why would they have been killed? It seemed like they were just helping.
They were just religious people... Well, but she wasn't even religious, was she?
Well, and who would kill them? Why would anybody kill them?
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. It doesn't... Yeah. It just doesn't... Because I think they claim that it was like... I don't remember. It's not the Sandinistas, I don't think, but like whatever junta group was controlling, I don't know. But It's just like, yeah, why would they have? Because then I thought they all died, but the priest was alive.
Yeah.
We see him at the funeral.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, well, then
Tell me.
is she just driving alone?
Tell me, is she alive?
Yeah.
Is she alive?
Yeah.
She's alive. In our memories. Is that what he says?
It is, but that was just some priest, right?
No, that's the older priest that was hanging out with them with John Carroll Lynch. Yeah.
Maybe, but he was like, what are you doing here? You know, when he talked to Billy Crudup, he's like, why are you here? Who are you looking for, my son?
It's this church, he said.
Oh, is that what he said?
He's the old guy that was around.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. That's why he didn't call the police or something.
Do we even need to do a deep dive? The plot, we covered it?
The problem is that the plot is just a rotating wheel of the same thing.
That sounds legit. As he becomes more unhinged.
Nothing in the future. It's not like Arrow, where a flashback informs the solution to the problem in the current day.
No.
The flashbacks do nothing.
It's not plot, it's feel.
It's like I said, they have two movies and they just don't know where to go with either of them. So we get this relationship one. That could have been the full movie. It's just this examination of their relationship. But then you have this political shit going on in the 80s. And then his brother's like, I'm in love with a Korean whore. Use your contacts to save her.
Can we think about Sandra Oh? What a was horrible part this is for her. She's from Canada.
Yeah.
They got her doing that broken English.
It was terrible.
It's sad.
I felt
I shouldn't make that statement because she might be like, whatever. It was a movie acting credit.
Yeah, I'd have to assume. Well, maybe I shouldn't assume. I'd like to think that there were maybe like one or two other scenes with her that probably reached the cutting room floor.
You think so, though? I mean, I guess if it's 3 hours, but I don't know why you would come back to her.
That's true. The thing is it took me a while to realize that consultant was his sister.
Yeah, that's Helen from Ozark.
Yeah, because he mentions his sister was an artist. And then
I thought it was his mom until you meet his mom later.
I just thought it was like some political handler or whatever. But no, it's a sister. So he starts confiding into her, I think, first. He's like, hey, I'm losing my shit.
I think I'm seeing Sarah.
I'm talking to her. Later in the movie, I'm going to run into a church. It's getting out of control. And then she's like, well, I saw her too. At least I thought I did. Right? And God, why do they picked the wrong career for Sarah to have. Or maybe the wrong way to have killed her.
I think that they just picked the wrong director. Keith Gordon should not have done this movie.
It should have been...
I don't think he has the chops.
True. It should have been like she was captured in South America. And maybe...
Oh, and then there's some more mystery.
Maybe right. Yeah. Not just like she was blown up.
She got blown up real good.
And we did a whole funeral for her. Because there's just no reason to assume that she was anything other than who she was, which is like, why would she have faked her death, or why would somebody...
It did seem like maybe there's something a little fishy going on, but...
Yeah, maybe they should have made it seem like maybe she was a spy.
Do you think this movie would have been better if it were 3 hours, or do you think it would have been 1 hour more painful?
Part of the problem was they probably gutted the budget, which is why everything was so cartoony. If it wasn't just like it just felt like they were making fun of the eras that it was taking place in.
You know what? I think this is a problem with like HD TVs and it being, 2022, man.
Maybe.
I don't necessarily. I think this shit looked fine in 2000. I think in 2000 nobody thought twice about it.
Sure.
And now you're like, what the fuck?
Sure.
But I've seen people make things look better than this.
Yeah.
This looks so bad.
Were there any highlights in the movie for you?
I will tell you that her masturbating, reading that sexy letter she wrote him, was a highlight in how unsexy it was.
That's when she was just lying in bed.
Yeah.
Right, because there's only one scene, right?
Yeah.
Because he told me that it's coming up, and I was like, well, I already saw a scene. That wasn't like, I don't know.
It's so
It's Shoe Diaries level eroticism.
It's like the music and the panning of the camera and the words of the letter are so stupid, or else the way she's reading it's so bad.
Yeah, her sitting on the counter, it's like she's in the friend's kitchen. You know, just like knickknacks and patty whacks all over the place there.
Oh, that should have been so hot. It was not. I have this microphone way too far from my face.
I think I might too, but hey, what are you gonna do?
What are we doing?
However, and I'm gonna detour for a minute to extrapolate on my perversions. We get to see a little Jennifer Connelly boob again.
Again.
The left boob again.
Oh, you think that one of them's better than the other one?
I don't know, but I tell you what. The way it was hanging, it was banging. I thought, okay, I'm going to jump into some hot goss here, okay? This is some hot goss, because I don't even know how I stumbled upon this, but I'm glad I did. So there's a website called Who's Dated Who?
Not Ain't It Cool News.
No, although it's probably a bot. So the story behind this movie is Billy and Jennifer were rumored to have dated during the filming of Inventing the Abbotts, right? In which their characters have a very strong sexual relationship.
Sure do.
After filming ended, Jennifer began dating her son Kai's father, David Dugan, and became pregnant with Kai. And Kai is actually the child that she's holding in this movie.
Okay.
In the bed when he goes into the monastery? I don't know. And Billy Crudup began dating longtime girlfriend Mary Louise Parker, right?
That doesn't end well.
So this is where the hot goss comes in, okay? That was just backstory. Billy and Jennifer reunited again as passionate lovers in the 2000 film Waking the Dead. After Billy, who was already cast, lobbied for Jennifer to get the part. Billy was still dating Mary Louise, and Jennifer was dating Josh Charles.
Oh.
However, the two grew so close during filming that there were rumors of an affair. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Mary
Louise. I put the baby monitor on the table upstairs. I texted you.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm in the middle of hot guys.
I know. You see her walking around here looking, trying to find it. Somebody had to help her.
So apparently Mary Louise and Billy went through a rough patch during this time.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, she was especially upset over rumors that the sex scenes in this film were real.
Man, that's what they say. I was just listening to people talk about Donald Sutherland and Don't Look Now.
Donald Sutherland? Oh, I don't want to see that.
It was the 70s. He looked better.
So that's the hot goss right there.
I'm sure.
I should add a siren or something.
Yeah.
So I read that early on while watching this, well before we got to the lovemaking. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like real.
It wasn't hot.
It's barely simulated.
It was gross. It was gross when the spit is hanging between their mouths. They were drained. Man, I found these two really unsexy in this movie. I really...
For one, I don't know why she was doing that southern accent.
It's bad.
It only comes in when you're not accustomed to doing an accent. That's what it seemed like. There's those words that you know that you got to hit it on, but then you don't know about diphthongs and all that shit, so you're just missing out on the nuance of regional dialect. So I thought that just sounded dumb. And it was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even know where she was from. What does it fucking matter how she talks?
Why not Chicago?
Why not Chicago? Right?
Go to the bar. Give me a hot beef.
I liked his performance in certain parts. When he's losing his shit at dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the better scenes of the movie.
Boy, if that didn't get him a golden Oscar.
Well, he does become a golden god in the next movie.
In the next movie?
He's almost famous.
Oh.
I am a golden god.
I actually stumbled upon a VHS copy of that, and I decided not to get it.
That might be the ideal way to watch it.
It could be. I'm sure it's going to be there forever.
There's not going to be a run on him?
No. Yeah, boy. I mean, the brothers subplot was, like, stupid and completely unnecessary. So I just kidnapped her, and now the Koreans are pissed. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But nothing happened.
Man.
And then they're like, I mean, he's losing his shit left and right. And it's not an issue.
Nobody helps him. Well, no, yeah, he just powers through. Only like his personal people.
Well, not only that.
Struggling and they don't care.
Well, but he's in the restaurant losing his shit. There's people all around.
It's a fancy restaurant.
Maybe it's not nowadays. Nowadays, somebody would have filmed that, sold it to TMZ for $500, and his political career would be ruined.
But he's not the president, you know. He's
No, but I mean, that
running
type
for
of shit,
Senate.
they'll just, did you know Fielding was a crybaby?
Yeah, now
Right.
for sure.
And a black and white picture of him sort of tilting and zooming in towards the camera, and for some reason, like a red rubber stamp on his head that's like, crybaby, you know.
Nobody's voting for the crybaby.
I guess back in the 80s, they didn't give a fuck. He's white. That's aight. No drug use, really? I mean, the brother, I guess, seemed like he was on drugs.
Yeah, marijuana and then cocaine.
Was he doing coke?
I mean, he's
Snorting
got
coke?
that. We say that every episode so far. I've said somebody's on cocaine.
Yeah. It was brutal.
I think he'd be on that cocaine.
When he tore down his brother. I liked when he walked in and like the brother's on the couch and he just drops a suitcase and he's like, I'm going to the kitchen. Nobody say anything intelligent or something until I get back. Billy Crudup said that.
I don't remember that. Is it towards the end?
That's when he's in the apartment and he basically tells his brother that he doesn't want him in his life anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I got this hooker. I need your help. And he's like, I don't want to help you. You know, and the sister's behind him, like, doing nothing.
This was another situation where the last 45 minutes I was drinking heavily.
Yeah.
Initially, what I thought was, okay, I don't like anything about this, except for Jennifer Connoly and Billy Crudup. I said, you know what? These two are popping, and they're charming, and I like watching them talk to each other.
Yeah.
That wore off pretty quick after, like, they started dating. Like, I thought she started to suck and get boring pretty quick in this movie.
It was just par for the course, boilerplate. Oh, she's, a wild child trying to be stuffy, and she can't bite her tongue, and
I can't.
But he loves her, and Hal Holbrook. What are you doing with this chick? Meet my niece.
Wasn't he on an Evening Shade?
Probably.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like, some of the scenes, I'd be like, oh, this is good. I think maybe this is pretty good. And it just seems like it's from a different movie. Because it'll be like 1 2-minute sequence every half hour. You'll be like, well made.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it looks like a TV movie or a direct-to-video.
Part of it, I think, was because they used so many non-Jennifer Connelly actors as a stand-in for Jennifer Connelly. Like he looks out the window when they're driving, and it's the little girl.
Yeah, but it's not the same little girl that he hallucinated earlier, but she's wearing the same outfit. It's supposed to be the girl that...
The poncho is what's doing it for you?
Yeah, it's...
When he's walking in the airport, there's just... And they're not even the same ponchos. They're just brunettes and poncho.
That was slightly okay. I kind of like that a little bit.
I guess.
Man, there was just, like, bad panning and, like, hey, I'm getting this shot of them in the mirror and then scooting over here to get the shot of them. And it's like, well, this is a dumb camera trick.
This is 1 year after The Matrix. There's no slow motion.
No.
There's no sexy leather.
That's true. That's,
I'm like, what is going on here? I did not like this movie. I wish I wouldn't have watched the trailer beforehand because I knew going in. I put this movie off for as long as I could.
I didn't watch that trailer. I was really curious to see what you were seeing. Me knowing, prior to watching it for a second time, knowing it's a good movie, what could you possibly be seeing in the trailer to put you off of it?
Sure.
Oh, Jules, you're crazy. You're in for a treat. Waking the Dead's gonna unleash the romantic in you. You're really gonna feel this movie. Yeah, I'm sure it's exactly what you saw in the trailer. It's 100% what you saw in the trailer?
Yeah, it's like a tonal mess. They're playing off some of the Is She a Ghost stuff is almost like meet cute rom-com. But then it's like, I don't know, man. What a way to end the first 10 films.
So let's talk about... She's obviously not a ghost. It's a mental breakdown, which they make it clear to you. Her pop-ups and then coming in.
Yeah.
They spend half the night, like, laying next to each other and not talking. Finally, the culmination of this romance and loss. They get one more chance to be together. Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I think it's the one scene in the movie that intentionally is like designed to intentionally like mislead you in a way nothing before it has. Before it was just, oh, she's down the street. he's running after her, but he can never get to her.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare. It's
Right.
like a dream,
He
a bad dream.
hears her. He sees her, but it's not her.
Yeah.
Then she's there and real. Doesn't explain herself.
Nope, here I am.
I'm somewhere and I don't want to be there, but I can't tell you. And then they just kiss. And we see her in a way that we shouldn't. We shouldn't see him passed out and her sitting over here watching him. When we see them together, it's still from his perspective. But he's unconscious now. And we're observing. I don't buy this for a second.
No.
Not 1 second. And I didn't even really buy that they loved each other that hard.
I really found their relationship quite lame.
I mean, like...
Other than the meet cute and the electricity in the beginning, maybe they were sleeping together again in the very beginning. I mean,
sure.
Shot sequentially, but let's pretend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pretend that maybe they aren't sleeping together yet. Maybe at the beginning of the movie, they're into each other again. They want to fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then a little bit later on, they have had sex. They're cheating on their significant others.
Yeah, big time.
And then after that, the guilt's got them. They don't really like each other. They're both farting their way through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, Crudup's like mostly pretty good.
In this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
There's a couple, like, when he's losing it once or twice, it's like, you let this scene go on too long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he nailed the first 30 seconds of it, and then you just let the camera be on him while he's having a breakdown, and he's running out of moves. And you can see him running out of moves. And
This much like Steve Prefontaine, or what was that one called?
It's Without Limits.
Without
I call it
Limits.
Prefontaine also.
That one and this one, knowing that Tom Cruise is in the running specifically for this one, I just see Tom Cruise in all of Crudup's heavy-hitting big moves, especially when he's running. I mean, that's Tom Cruise 101, running. Yeah, man, I don't know. I thought the soundtrack was shit.
The soundtrack's really bad.
Tom and Andy or something was the name of the group.
one word smushed together.
It was like some fucking...
That song that they play over the opening credits.
Oh,
you're
my
immediately
God.
like, oh, this is going to be bad. And that music's bad always throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, the cinematography's bad. The directing is not great. Some of the acting is okay. Most of it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Molly Parker had dick all to do.
She didn't have anything to do. They squander. Hal Holbrook's good, but he's like barely in it.
Mm-hmm. Sandra Oh, I mean, forget about it. God, I wonder if this was like right before that one Canadian movie I liked that she was in.
I mean, I think this is like 2 or 3 years before Sideways. It's like 5 years before Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. God, what was the name of that movie? There's a really good Canadian movie I just absolutely loved.
I think Keith Gordon only makes one more movie after this and then moves into TV as far as directing.
1998's Last Night.
Is that with The Last Night on Earth?
It was, yeah. Don McKellar?
Yeah, has it got Sarah Pauling in it too?
Yeah. And Keith Callum Rennie.
Yeah,
he's trying to get a car collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's dope.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a dope movie.
Nice.
2 years before this movie.
Okay.
So she had she had a career.
It's Canadian.
To some extent before this movie.
Stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be in a big Hollywood movie. Oh, Tom Cruise backed out? Tom Hanks backed out?
I think The Singing Detective that's Keith Gordon's follow-up to this. It's supposed to be pretty terrible.
You said this, you think this is his first?
No. Keith Gordon?
Directorial movie?
No.
Okay.
This is, he makes one more
after this.
And then it's
The Singing
TV all the way.
Detective?
Yeah, with Robert Downey Jr. based on like the 6-hour BBC miniseries.
Oh.
They condense it down to like an overly long 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And then before that, he did A Midnight Clear, The Chocolate War, and Mother Night, which I've seen.
You want to see that. I love Kurt Vonnegut books.
Mother Night, when I saw it on Bravo in the late 90s, it was good. I don't know, man. This movie's,
Yeah, halfway through the movie, I wrote, I hate this. I hate the colors and lighting and cinematography. What is this fucking movie?
That's on point.
I just, I did like the sequence with them on the train, where they're arguing after the party. And she's just like, God, loving you is so fucking unbearable or something. And he's like, yeah, I know, you too. And it seemed like they meant it, but then there was like this moment where they looked at each other and...
This movie's a big fat 4 to me.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be generous, and give it a 4.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup?
I gave him a 5.
Okay. Based on that one dinner scene alone,
That's pretty good.
I'd probably go with a 6.
Yeah.
Because they just let it roll on him, and he fucking goes through it.
Yeah, 5's a little mean. Wait, what'd you give the movie? 4?
4.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 3, but you gave it a 4, so I'll go with a 4.
Do you want to do a top 3 and bottom 3?
Sure.
All right, I got to get my little picture I made of Billy in the movies for cover.
Oh yeah, do I have one of those?
Man, I hope so. I hope you're cool enough to have a Billy pick.
Yeah, if somebody was nice enough to send me one. Not just I can't download images from text for some reason, so I have to send it. I sent it to Callie, and then I downloaded it from Messenger.
That's sad.
It is. I got it though. See?
Thank you. We doing filmographies.
We doing them.
All right, I'm going to give you my top 3.
Okay.
One, of course, being my number 1 pick.
Of course.
You know me well.
If I had to guess, I'd say your top 3, in no particular order, is Jesus' Son, Inventing the Abbots, and this is a gamble, but I'm going to go with The High-Low Country.
Wow. Is that the last one was a joke, eh?
Well, I almost went with the Prefontaine movie.
So, I mean, definitely, so 2 would be Inventing the Abbots. Number 1 would be Jesus' Son.
Okay.
The 3 spot, I think it's Without Limits, because it was entertaining.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a good movie.
Yeah. I don't really like him in it.
He's the worst part of it.
Mononoke would have been the other one battling it out for the 3 spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really like that.
It's boring. It's far more boring than I remember.
It was pretty cool sometimes, but it's long.
The animation's really good. The American actors...
It's pretty bad. When it's popping, when there is a really cool battle, then it's pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. The rest of the time, not so much. Prefontaine, Without Limits, I felt like, whatever, it's a movie I can watch.
Wow.
It was entertaining enough. Let me get 3.
My top 3, huh? Fudge. This is actually pretty tough. Surprisingly, I think my top 1 would probably also be Jesus' Son, but not because of Billy Crudup or that character. Everything else about that movie, I thought I liked quite a bit. I liked Jack Black and seeing Michael Shannon and all these people Young. And number 2, I'll go with whatever that Prefontaine movie is, Without Limits, and then 3 is Inventing the Abbots. I'd say.
Do you like the Prefontaine movie more than Inventing the Abbots?
I liked. I didn't think the Abbots movie was that good of a story.
Maybe we were just excited that we liked it so much.
Yeah,
because I was listening to our podcast of it. Boy, we say such nice things about it.
We did. We're glowing on it.
We really liked it a lot.
I thought pretty much most of the performances in there, the main performances, were worthwhile. I love the mom. I thought the story was kind of whatever. The story was okay. It was just Without Limits is just a movie that, if not for Billy Crudup, I could see just throwing on like a, I don't know, Forrest Gump or something. Like if you just had to watch some mainstream-ish movie, no harm, no foul.
It's true. Goes through the motions, give you everything you're looking for out of that type of movie.
Close 4 would be Monument Avenue.
Number 4? Over High-Low Country?
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, no. I probably would go, I'd go, man, should we just do all 10 in order?
That's hard. I need a pen, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I could just look at this and kind of rattle it off and be happy with it, even if it's not 100%. What are the bottom 3 then?
Man, I think number 1, at least
it's your absolute bottom.
Yeah, the absolute bottom movie. Okay. The movie I hate the most out of all these. Monument Avenue.
Oh, wow.
Number 2, fucking Waking the Dead.
Okay.
Number 3, Grind.
Oh, wow.
But 4, I hate Sleepers also.
Oh, wow.
Man, I don't know, but where does Everyone Say I Love You come into play? That one sucks so much too.
So my number 1.
Basically, the 3 that we liked are the only 3 good ones.
My number 1 least favorite movie, Grind.
Okay.
Hands down.
It's so boring.
My number 2 least favorite movie, Everyone Says I Love You.
It's so boring.
And probably my number 3 would be Sleepers. Primarily because of the length of it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's only in it for a microsecond.
Oh, man. Yeah, next time maybe we'll just rank the 10. We'll come with a sheet of paper and we can read them out.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you stuck with us these 10 episodes. And
it's fun, right? Because Jules and I, we text about how excited we are to talk about these movies.
Yeah.
We were real pumped today to talk about fucking Waking the Dead.
Yeah.
Well,
boy.
Check us out on Instagram. We doing filmographies.
Yeah.
Email us at Gmail. We doing filmographies, or we be doing filmographies. Is that the one that we actually do?
It was the original one. I'm sure.
Oh, you forgot your password, anyways. We do filmographies at gmail.com. Fuck. I thought there was one other thing I was gonna say. Joel, you're listening, right?
Yeah.
Ben? Is that Holly might?
Yeah.
Holly actually seemed really excited to hear that we were doing something.
Paul might.
Paul might, right?
Yeah. Callie probably would. I mean, Jen probably won't, but.
Jenny? No.
Yeah.
No, Jennifer? Her least favorite thing is hearing people talk about movies. She would rather not watch a movie, but she really doesn't want to listen to you talk about them.
Well, hey. She's come to the wrong place.
And be sure to tune in next week.
Yeah. All right. Good night.